Hey guys, Josh here, and I'm with Chris, and we're doing another creator spotlight. Tonight we have Jack Harris Jr., the creator of the comic Terminus Veil. We have read the first issue, and we are going to talk about that. It is on a Kickstarter. We're going to get him to tell us a little bit about it and let you know why you guys should jump in and you should support this new comic. So, Chris,
Awesome.
I read it. You read it. What did you think about it?
Yeah, I was intrigued. I loved it. It had like a great espionage feel and like this whole special forces type feel, and I love that. I love like the special forces type movies and things like that. And so I was super intrigued with the book. I want to read more now that I'm done with issue number one. So, Jack, you want to tell us a little bit about the book and kind of let the audience know what they're going to get if they grab this book?
Yeah, definitely tell them, Chris, and I appreciate just to start this off to say, man, I appreciate y'all having me, Chris, Josh. I appreciate this, man. So, yeah, Terminus Veil is about a private security team named Guardians International. They basically are transporting a new invention, and while they're transporting it, guys come down, a helicopter starts shooting at them, attack them. They're trying to figure out what's going on, and that leads into a bigger conspiracy. It's got a very much of a action, it's very action packed, mystery feel as well, with some kind of sci-fi elements to add to it. So we're currently, got issue 1, 2, and 3 out. Issue 4 it's really close to the finish line, so hopefully we'll have it out in the next month, and we got the Kickstarter running right now for volume 1, which should include issues 1 through 4. So.
Awesome. And there were some pretty good characters in there. Because we're family friendly, I'm not going to mention the scene that made me laugh, but I'm pretty sure you can think about what it was. They were in the truck heading somewhere, and one of the characters were mad at the other one.
yeah. Yeah, well, it was really funny. I love that the characters, as soon as you started reading, you kind of felt a connection already. Like you created a character and some characters who we already feel like, hey, we kind of know these people a little bit, and we're already invested in what their adventures are going to be and what is going to happen to them. So I thought that was really cool too.
Yeah. No, I think that scene is one of the funner scenes, the opening, and everybody always tells me like, oh, like it's a little risque, just a little bit.
Just a little bit, yeah, just a little bit. The artwork is great in it, man. It feels like you're there. The explosions in there are great. The action. I was a little worried for him there for a little bit. It got pretty tough.
Yeah. No, action is great. I mean, the artwork Jordan Gunnarsson does issue 1, and I mean he's really, really good. His lines are just awesome. So yeah, it really came out just awesome to me.
So, Jack, as far as this, are you looking to continue this as an ongoing, or do you have a plan in mind for how many you want to write or anything like that?
Yeah, so my plan is definitely we're going to issue 10. There's no doubt in that. I would like to, if everything goes right, I'd like to take this well into the 50s. If I see my way, it's a big epic for me. And it really is going to go into it's going to change some of the dynamics of the team are going to change as the longer it goes. And it's been something I've been working on since 2009. So I got big plans for it if everything can play out.
Awesome. And we're in 2023. You said you started it in 2009. For our viewers, kind of give them an idea about what goes into the process of making a comic.
Yeah, so in 2009 when I started it was just an idea of a story, and it really wasn't like, oh, I'm going to do a comic for it. I was just like, hey, I have this story, and I just started kind of jotting ideas down. And so 10 years afterwards, 2020, I actually started the production of the comic book itself. And what goes into it, it's really about starting with a script. For me, that's how it kind of started, was going through, taking all the kind of plot points and all the world building stuff I did over the last decade, and then creating a script from that. And as soon as I got a script, I was like, all right, now it's time to go bring an art team together. So it's just reaching out to different artists and trying to find a good fit. And once you get to the point where you've got artists in agreement, now you're in production. And so production is a good bit, especially for the first issue, because sometimes you have to do some concepts that, characters that don't exist, are, there's nothing for the artist to reference from. And then for me, it was the first comic book I'd ever produced. So it was a lot of growing pains and learning, just the ropes of,
Right.
what what you need to do. So it's a whole deal to produce a comic book. It took us about 6 to 7 months to produce the first one. I mean, that's just production, not include all the pre-production work. So,
Right.
Awesome.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. So for an independent person or someone who's working on something on their own, they need to understand that they're not going to produce Marvel level one a month to keep going with what you're doing, because it takes time.
yeah.
yeah, it takes time, and I think there's you got to understand the element that the Marvel has that as an indie creator you don't, which is people are actively fighting to be on X-Men, right? Like if I can draw for X-Men, that's the
Yeah.
dream goal. Your indie book is something that it's a paycheck a little bit. It's not just just, oh, I love your project, I'm gonna spend the next 10 years working on it type of deal.
Right, right, right. And so like once you're done and with that first issue and you hold the actual copy in your hand, what does that feel like to a creator, you as a creator?
Oh, man, it's awesome because you have all those times when I was a kid, I loved to create comics. That's what I would do just as a hobby, and I always thought I was going to do it as a professional job. But life's got its ways of twisting you somewhere else. But to get back to it and to see a book, in your hand, fully produced, that people can buy and have access to, man, it's an insane feeling, man. Like it
That's
feels
awesome.
great.
That's really cool. Really cool. And we love we do a lot of reading basically for the channel, but we really have fell into a lot of indie comics recently and are just finding the stories are so much better than what the big, I guess you call them the big three, are putting out, or the big two, because the Image is still putting out some great stuff too. I mean, I love a lot of that stuff. So
Yeah, man.
I'm assuming you grew up reading comics, and when you grew up, what kind of influences do you think have kind of influenced you?
Yeah, from the comic book standpoint, Image is probably one of the companies that was probably the most influential for me. I started reading them early in the 90s, reading Wildcats, Grifter, it's a huge one, Wetworks, just man, I could go on and on. Spawn, just all of that stuff, man. Like I loved it. I was probably a bit too young to be reading some of it, in all honesty, but man, I loved it, man. And I would go to the comic store and spend my allowance there, every other week. Just getting new, especially Grifter. He was probably the real deal, one that was close to my heart. But I read other stuff too. Marvel, obviously, X-Men, was a big one I'd read. Yeah, man, just overall, always been a comic book fan.
That's awesome.
Awesome.
And it's cool to have grown up. I know we grew up reading our whole lives. We're old enough to know that when we used to go in the drugstore and get them off the spinner rack. So
Yeah.
so when they were 75 cent, and those were some good times. I wish I still had a bunch of those, but yeah. So super cool. We loved reading the book. I know you said you got a Kickstarter. You want to tell us a little bit more about that and kind of let people know how they can get to it?
Yeah, so basically our Kickstarter's running now, where I think we got about 15 days left on it. And it's for our volume one, which is basically issue 1, 2, 3, and 4 all put together. There's also going to be some extra kind of story background details, some character biographies in there, some concept artwork, so you can kind of see how the process went from, basically where we started the concept artwork all the way to what was all included in issue 4. So it's about 120-page book. Right now we've got you know I think 6 kind of what I call core rewards for the book, where they're just different variant covers. And then you can, if you want, you can get prints. We've got t-shirts, we got a bunch of different like bundles all on the Kickstarter. So yeah, if you go to tinyurl.com/Terminus Veil all together, it'll take you directly there, and get what you want. We're doing pretty well. We started, our goal was 4,000. We hit our funding goal day one.
Oh, nice.
And now we're around 10,000 right now. But yeah, we've got a special $12,000 stretch goal that if we hit that, everybody who backed will get a ash can. We're going to do a one shot for a particular character,
Cool.
Badia. That she's in issue 2, so I'm gonna send you guys issue 2, digital copies of issue 2, so y'all can check her out.
Awesome.
But yeah, she's in it, and she's got a whole one shot. And so yeah, it's been going pretty well. But we always trying to, the more we fund, the more we can do, and we've got a lot of plans. So
Right.
Awesome.
So speaking of the variant covers, I've been, we follow you on all social media and stuff. I've been watching the variant covers post. There's some really great variant covers for the books
yeah,
as
man.
well. They really are. And I'm a huge sucker for variant covers. If you look right over my head, I got
Okay.
the Poison Ivy Night Terrors cover. I just picked that up this weekend. I
Okay.
love a beautiful variant cover. I'll buy a book just for a cover and never crack the book. I just love to look at the covers.
Oh, I hear you. There's some artists that I absolutely love that I buy now. Like if I see David Nakayama do one, I'll
Yeah.
probably buy it. The art germ ones are just like insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, Art Jump is one of my favorites. Derek Chu is amazing as well. He does some really great work as well. Yeah, so that's really cool. Yeah, we're excited for the book. Like I said, and we enjoyed reading the first one, and we're gonna make sure that people get over to that Kickstarter and check it out. I might have to get over to that Kickstarter because I want to get that ash can going there. I'm
Yeah,
all
man.
for the ash can books and
sorry, Chris. We'll put the link up on the description and in the video here while we're talking about it. But just for the people listening, what is the minimum to put down on the Kickstarter to receive volume 1?
If you wanted just the digital for volume 1, it would be $15.
Okay.
And the physical, if you're in US, the minimum would be, I want to say, right at 32. Let me make sure. It's man, I've got to look. I should know this stuff, right?
It's
But
a lot
yeah,
to
so
keep
many
up
of
with,
them.
man.
that's
Yeah,
okay. We'll look it up and put it up on the screen. We'll make sure we do it there too.
yeah,
So.
37 would get you in the game, which is you'll get the physical volume, the physical book, and you'll get a digital copy.
Okay.
And that would cover your shipping and your book all together.
Awesome.
All right. That's a great deal, guys. You can't beat it, especially 100 and plus pages. That's a lot of book right there, and the concept and artwork and stuff like that is well worth it. Sometimes it's fun just to go back and look at the concept, and I've got a lot of collected editions where the concept artwork is pretty amazing in there too. Stands alone without even looking at the book. So.
Yeah, plus if you get the whole book, you're not left with the questions we are after reading issue 1. We need the rest of it.
Still, it's a long running series, so there's still some questions. There's still a lot of mystery, even after volume 1. But yeah, man, no, it definitely is a full arc feel to it.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's the way to do it. They're leaving one more. Josh, can you think of anything else we want to talk about, or?
I think we've covered it all. I mean, it's a great book. It's military style. He answered a lot of questions for me that I was looking at.
I got one more. I just thought about it. Jack, are you doing any conventions or anything with your book and pushing it there as well?
Yeah, we've actually this week we're in Austin, Texas for DreamCon, which is the next con. That's the only one we have on the books right now. I can tell you that probably after we get out of the Kickstarter, we're gonna do a lot of fulfillment in October. I expect in September for fulfilling the Kickstarter. But as soon as we kind of get out of fulfillment, then yeah, we'll start looking back at the playing field. We like to travel a bit. We always do a couple in Atlanta, like we did ATL Comic Con this year. We did MomoCon. But we're looking to move, we'll probably do a ton in the South, just South Carolina, North Carolina, Florida, Alabama will be out there. But,
Hey,
whenever we find a con that fits, we go
hey,
anywhere.
Josh, I'm thinking our good friend Keith Gibbs over at Fayetteville Comic Con might need to give him a call.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Fayetteville
Yep.
Comic Con.
We'd love
that's
to
a
see you
great
up here in
that's a
North
good idea.
Carolina.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a definite, man.
Yep.
Awesome. Well, we have appreciated you being up here tonight. We've really enjoyed talking to you.
Oh,
I just love talking to creators about their book, and I can tell that you love your creation, and I love when people are excited about what they put out. So,
oh yeah.
All right. So one more question before we go. Favorite character in your book? Who's your
Oh man,
character?
everybody's always asking me that. It's so hard.
Because they're all your
I don't.
babies, right?
Yeah, they're all my babies, but it's like I like there are characters like I love Connor because I get to have fun with just chump offs and the vulgarity that just the general kind of stuff I like to do. But then there's I like Bird as well because I think she's whenever you get into an action sequence and what she's able to do on the field, it's just really interesting. Badia, you'll see in issue 2. Like I said, I'll send that out to you guys. She's another fun character. So it's hard for me, man. I really love the team dynamic of it and what you get to do with 2 different personalities and you put them, in a room together. So
Awesome.
that's probably what I love the most.
And this is a
Awesome.
book for our older readers because they are a military unit. So there is a little bit of vulgarity, like you said in the book, but that is something you expect from a military unit when they're working together.
Yeah.
Right. The trueness of it, you get that feeling, there's a realness there, and don't sugarcoat what we know is the real world because we know that's really what's going on and how they operate. So I appreciate that.
Yeah. You like to think that somebody in life and death situations aren't as concerned about PC-ness or general, like, hey, we're all,
Oh, yeah.
it's not all lovey-dovey, right? It's gonna be
Yeah.
some interestingness to it, right?
Exactly.
Spice.
Excellent. Josh, you want to wrap us up?
All right, guys. So the book we were talking about tonight was Terminus Veil by Jack Harris Jr. here. He has this on Kickstarter. You can check our links. It was good to talk to you tonight, man. We thank you for coming on. And you guys check out his Kickstarter. Check out the book. I can't wait to read more of it. So until next time, we will see you at the shop.